Hello everyone, welcome to Rachel Pichler Yoga. Just in case we haven't met before, my name is Rachel. Today we're doing a nice full body flexibility practice. I'm just going to use my bolster today. If you've got a pillow or a cushion to lay on, you might find it useful. Find some space to move though, and let's get started. So we will begin today laying down. So if you do have something to lay on, you can add that in. Or you can lay flat on your back, but you might also make a diamond shape with your legs to get into your hips while we're here. A little bit of a back bend if you choose to lay on top of something, even a little bit of a chest opener sometimes if you allow your arms to fall to the sides and your chest is lifted. But depending on how you're laying, what you're laying on, you might feel like you need to move a little bit, adjust a little bit to find a place where you're comfortable, where you can start to relax. So once you are happy with where you are right now, you can close your eyes. Taking a slower, deeper breath in and letting that breath go. And do that again, a slow, deep inhale and let it go. And one more time, just fill your body up with air and let it go. Feel like you still need to move around. Just listen to your body. Make any adjustments that you need to. I'm going to stay here for a little bit of time. Maybe finding some stillness. Starting to let your day fade away. Giving yourself permission to slow down. As we begin to bring in some movement, you might start with a wiggle of the fingers, maybe the toes, and also move your legs more so that your knees are bent and your feet are planted. And once you have your feet planted on the ground, you might reach your arms past your head. Take a big stretch to the upper body. And release your arms back to your side. You might take your knees for a gentle sway side to side while you're still laying on whatever you're laying on. You can also start to sit up a little bit to take that item out from under you, to lay flat on your back for a moment. Maybe hugging your knees in towards your chest. Maybe taking a rock or sway side to side. And then we're going to be coming up to seated. You can roll forwards or roll to one side. Find your way up. Sticking with our legs. Wide straddle. Bringing the feet out wide, the legs out wide. Maybe having something in front of you. If you feel like you're tipping backwards here, you could also sit on your pillow, or if you have something else to sit on. You might point your toes up as well, maybe even a little bend through the knees if there's any discomfort there. I always like to sway my shoulders side to side a few times, get into the inner thigh. But theme of the day is staying in one place for a little bit of time. So if you do want to fold forwards or stay seated nice and tall, you might let your eyes close. You might let the body become stiller if it's comfortable. Allowing your shoulders to fall from your ears. Breathing softly, feeling the length through the legs. Setting any thoughts on your mind off to the side. Just notice, feel your breath. If you're folding forwards, stay for another breath or two, and then you can lift. We're going to add a side stretch into this. If you like the full straddle, you can stay both legs out wide. If you want to keep your left leg out long and bend the right leg in for a half straddle, you could bend that right leg in. I'm going to stick with the full straddle, and I'm also going to move my pillow over towards the left leg too. So we're either going to bring our hand to the ground in front of the leg or around the leg, or maybe your pillow. Maybe it's the forearm as you lead with your shoulder and tip over towards that left knee. You might continue to point your toes up as well. You don't have to have anything under your arm. You can use the ground and that right arm. We're going to look up, we're going to reach up and maybe over as well to add a side stretch into this. Just reaching a little bit further. And then use an inhale to lift. Lift your upper body back to center. Let your arms fall to your sides. If you're in half a straddle, send your right leg out. Bend the left leg in. When you're ready to tip over to one side, leading with the shoulder. Tipping over to the side, maybe resting on something, your hand. And let the left arm reach up and over, and maybe pointing the toes up too. Just reaching a touch further for that last breath. And then using an inhale to lift. Come all the way back up. If you're using a pillow, you might move it to the side, out of the way. We're going to be bringing our legs back in, back together. You can give them a hug, a squeeze, maybe a rock side to side. We're going to come over onto our knees, though, moving into our feet a little bit. We won't stay as long. So stacking one foot on top of the other, you're going to rest the left foot, the top of the left foot, into the arch of the right foot. So top of the foot, of the top foot, into the arch of the bottom foot. So maybe it's left on top first, sending the hips back towards the heels. You can keep some weight in the hands, or you can sit back. You might have to move a little to find that sweet spot. Let your shoulders fall away from your ears, and maybe just close your eyes. Let your feet take the weight of the upper body. And then just one more breath before we switch sides. If your hands are lifted, you can bring them down. If you need to shake it out or take a longer break, you can do that too. And just crossing the other foot on top. So maybe it's the right foot into the arch of the left foot. Find that sweet spot. My left foot is more fun than my right. So maybe a one foot that also feels the love a lot more than the other. Regardless, soften your forehead, soften your jaw, and breathe. One more breath on this side. And then you can bring your hands down. You can come off of your feet. Give them a little shake if you'd like. Now we're going to slide onto our bellies. You won't need your pillow. But coming onto your tummy. Stack your palms. You might give the hips a little bit of a sway side to side. And our left arm is going to be making its way out to the sides. Be nice and straight and in line with the shoulder. Let your palm face down. We're going to roll onto our left side if you want more. You can bend your knees or keep the legs straight. Maybe you want your pillow to rest underneath your head. One more breath on this side. And just use an inhale to roll back over onto your belly. Move your hands back in, maybe under the forehead. Just pause. Maybe a gentle sway through the hips. Our right arm will be making its way out to the side though. Palm facing down. Hand in line with the shoulders, best you can get it. And then maybe rolling onto your right side. Maybe you'll bend your knees. Maybe you'll rest your head on the ground or on something. Stay for just one more breath. And if you're on your right side, use an inhale to help you roll back over onto your belly. Stacking the palms again. Rest your forehead and maybe take your hips for a gentle sway. Now you can start to lift onto the forearms, tucking your elbows under your shoulders for our Sphinx. Palms down, maybe fingers spread nice and wide. So just squeeze your glutes. Press your hips into the ground. The chest can lift a little. The shoulders can pull down. Feel the love through the back. Maybe even a little bit of a stretch through the belly. Continue to soften the forehead though. If you're feeling good here, stay. If you want more, bring the hands wide or lift the elbows up. Squeeze the glutes, press the hips down, and drop the shoulders. So I'll take one more breath in. And as you exhale, slowly bringing the chest down, stacking the palms. Maybe a gentle sway of the hips. We're going to be bringing our hands by the shoulders just to push up onto our knees. So you can come to seated for a moment. If you do have a pillow to use today, or maybe it's a blanket rolled over a few times, but we might place it underneath our knees. Now we're gonna lay down. So if you were resting your legs on top of something, bring the feet out wider, have that thing kind of under the knees so they just stay nice and bent, nice and soft. You can lay down when you're ready to lay down. And just resting your arms at your sides. Turning your palms to face up. Notice the ground beneath you. Let your body be still. And you focus completely on your breath. Maybe the sound of it or the feel. And you also let your breath be effortless. Let your body breathe without any help from you. Now I encourage you to stay here for as long as you have time for today. Shavasana. Thank you so much for joining me though. And I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Until next time. Namaste.